Alabama carried out scheduled execution of convicted inmate Kenneth Eugene Smith on Thursday night, using nitrogen hypoxia, a controversial and widely disputed death penalty method used for the first time in United States. Local time officials said. According to Pool Media, Smith's last words were, "Tonight, Alabama caused humanity to take a step back. I leave with love, peace and light." Reporters also said he made the "I love you" sign in sign language. A reporter also noted that Smith was shaking and writhing on gurney for at least 2 minutes at the beginning of execution and asked Hamm if this was expected or an indication that he was suffering. It looked like Smith was holding his breath for as long as he could. Hamm said. There's also information that he's struggling a little bit with his restraints. But there's some involuntary movements and angled breathing. There was small interruption in EKG lines that gave a good reading, said Hamm, explaining that there was delay of about 45 minutes from time Supreme Court allowed execution to proceed until witnesses were allowed into chamber. In a statement to CBS News following execution, Smith's legal team wrote, "We are deeply saddened by the state Alabama and Alabama Department of Corrections execution Kenneth Eugene Smith. Kenny was subject to death penalty only because the trial judge applied a since-repealed Alabama law to override jury's 11-1 verdict that his life should be spared. A practice that not only did not exist under current Alabama law, but also it has been valid ever since. There are currently efforts in Alabama legislature ensure that inmates like Kenny, who were sentenced to death because a judge overruled the jury's measured determination, spare their lives, do not suffer same fate he is experiencing today. Unfortunately, if the efforts are successful, it will be too late for Kenny." In a separate statement, Alabama Governor Kay Ivey said she decided not to grant a pardon to Smith. The execution was legally carried out by means of nitrogen hypoxia, the method that Mr. Smith had previously requested as an alternative to lethal injection, Ivey wrote. In the end, Mr. Smith got what he wanted and this case can finally be put to rest. At the press conference held after Smith's execution on Thursday evening, Mike Sennett, the son of Elizabeth Dorlene Sennett, for whom Smith was convicted of, also made a statement. "We're not going to be jumping around," Sennett said. Jeff Hood said in a statement before the execution Thursday afternoon, "We cannot normalize drowning each other." The statement said, Smith's execution took place in November 2022 after he survived a botched lethal injection. Smith's legal team had objected Alabama's plan to use nitrogen in death chamber without documented evidence of its repercussions and called on the state halt execution altogether. His lawyers accused the state of using Smith as a test subject for an experimental execution and